Mecha Break has been out nearly for a week now, and if you are going to Steam, you see it has mixed reviews, and you might be wondering, why is that? Well, I can tell you it is one of the most bizarre things I have seen in a very long time in a video game and in a free to play game in general, and it is the complaint about monetization. And now you're wondering, okay, free to play game complaints about monetization, that probably means the game is pay to win. And that's the thing, it isn't. Not even remotely close. Yes, we would talk about Mashmac, where there is some concerns there, and we have to talk about that. But in general, if you are playing the, let's say, competitive modes, that's what the developers coining those modes. This is not me. The developers are coining the 6 versus 6 and 3 versus 3 as the competitive modes, and there is literally no advantage to be taken by paying money. Like, you cannot buy anything which gives you an advantage in any shape or form. So, what's going on here then? Well, let's have a look at what people are complaining about and why it is so weird. So, first things first, it is very important to note that there have been some big changes from the beta. I see some reviews where people are complaining about things which are not even in the game anymore, right? They are taking their beta experience and then just put it on the release. And it's like, what are you doing here? That is so unsincere, what's going on. But the first thing is, of course, 12 strikers will be available to you right at the beginning. You have to unlock them, which is a click, but you can just get all 12 strikers besides Stellaris, Inferno, and Zerenith. Those you have to unlock. And to make it very clear, you cannot unlock them with real money, right? You have to go under logistics, and then you're going into the matrix selection, and you have, as you can see here, you can only purchase them with the in-game currency you are getting by just playing the game. Yes, if you are buying the battle pass, you will get double the amount of matrix tokens, right? Which means you can unlock them further, but the reality is, like, even if you are not doing that, it is relatively simple to unlock them. And what is also very important, and you can see that right here, I do not have Stellaris, right? But as you probably have seen in my Striker Bay, I can very much choose Stellaris. I can play Stellaris. How is that? Well, it's pretty simple. You can unlock them for 7 days without any big restrictions. You cannot gain, you cannot change the paint and get some achievement points and all that. But you can absolutely just play the strikers, even though you haven't unlocked it yet. And then in the meantime, you can accumulate the points to unlock the striker. So you are not even behind that. Like, it's not a problem. So what's the bigger issues then? Well, what you see here is, by the way, the battle pass, and everything which could give you an advantage or even some skins are in the free battle pass. You can see that right here. This is the area where you don't have to buy for the battle pass. And then there is this area, which is something you have to pay for, right? You have to get the battle pass for $12.99, and then you have to unlock all those things by playing the game. And by the way, the extra points you're making when you don't have the battle pass do not vanish. They're actually being accumulated, and if you decide to buy the battle pass later, you will get all those accumulated points you didn't cash in before that, before you had the extra points from the battle pass. So you're not even losing out on that. It's on a bank, and you can just get it when you are actually signing the battle pass and when you buy it. So you're not losing out on that either. And everything you get here is literally just cosmetics, right? So it's not like you're losing out on some crazy stuff. Yes, there is a little bit of like extra stuff you can get there, which will give you some bonus in Mashmac, but you can also find those things in Mashmac. I have seen enough people actually getting those restricted zone keys. by just playing Mashmack, so it's not even a big deal. And now you're wondering even more, okay, what's the problem? Well, the problem is apparently things which are not in the battle pass, and that is the marketplace. So you can sell everything you find in this game for real money. Well, not really for real money, but for the in-game currency, right, which is Corite. And this is how you can make money by basically just playing the game and then selling the things you find on the battle pass or you find in Mashmack. And people say, oh, wait, you can sell the mods and you can buy the mods? Yep, that's pay to win. That's right here is pay to win because you can just get a real money currency and then deck out your striker and being absolutely OP. Yes, you could do that. But there is a very big asterisk to all of this, which makes this argument null and void. Because, A, when you die in Mashmack, you will lose everything. It's an extraction shooter. Yes, that means you can also lose your mods. That means all the stuff you have just spent money on can be gone. And second, there are item level restrictions in Mashmack. So when you are reaching a certain item level through mods and other things, you will be put in a different bracket. If you want to play with your super OP items, you have to go in the super OP bracket, aka the extreme bracket. So you will meet people who have the same equipment than you have. And it's very important to note, like as I said, you can lose everything you find there, you can lose everything, and it's very much like EVE Online. If you have ever played EVE Online functions on the same principle, right? And weirdly enough, nobody has ever complained about that. It's basically the in-game currency market system they're using, an economy system. And I don't really see a problem with that. Now, of course, I will add that I don't care for Mashmack. I don't play Mashmack. If they would remove Mashmack the next day, I wouldn't raise an eyebrow. I would be very honest about that. So, but I'm still trying to understand where the problem here is, because you can spend a lot of money, but it doesn't give you an advantage because A, you cannot bash noobs because of the item level system, and B, you can literally lose everything in the next round you just spend tons of money on. So I don't really see a big issue here. But there is something else I wanted to point out, and this is where people have been complaining about. As you might have seen, you can buy everything with Corite, right? Which is the premium currency in the game. And you can, as I said, make Corite by selling things you don't want, and then you can buy items you actually do want with Corite, which I think is a pretty cool system in itself. Now, there is an item which you cannot buy for Corite, and that is the Ace Pilot. This girl right here. As you can see, they are asking directly for $50 or around $50, right? And you cannot buy this for Corite. Now, if somebody would sell that in the shop, then you could, of course, buy that for Corite. That is, of course, to the discretion of the players. But this is a skin. This doesn't give you anything. It just gives you some animations, you know, some skins. And by the way, you can trial, again, the person if you want, before you want to buy it. Like here you can see like the extra animations they're getting and all that. But it's literally just a skin, and people are pissed about that. People are like, oh my god, a €50 skin! Are you insane? Look, here's the thing. I agree. I find it ridiculous how games have becoming more and more this, we are having microtransactions, and in reality it's at this point macro transactions, because you are literally selling a full price title for one skin. But unfortunately, I have to say that train has left the station many years ago. Where have you been? I mean, look at Diablo 4, an $80 to $90 game, and then having an item shop with literally those skin prices for hundreds of skins of this at this point. Or you want to check out the newest collaboration Diablo 4 has with Berserk? Oh yeah, if you want to get the skins, it's just $150. Super cheap, huh? And that is a full price title who is doing this shit. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm sick of it. I don't want to see that. I find that ridiculous. But the reality is, so many games are doing it, and it sells. It works, or they wouldn't have done this. The whales or the people which have the money are just paying for that. And again, this is a free-to-play game. This is a skin. I am against that price tag, but I'm not against that it is in this game. Because, again, does it interfere with any of my 6 versus 6, 3 versus 3, or even with Mashmac? No, it doesn't. It's a skin in a free-to-play game. And people are pissed about that. They're pissed that they cannot or don't want to buy this, that they don't see the value in it. And I'm like, well, then they have done everything right. You decided for yourself that this is not the value for you. You would not pay $50 for this skin, and that is completely fine. Wait for a sale. Maybe there will be a sale on this. Or just continue to play the game. Like, I have to admit, I don't understand the mixed reviews when it comes to the monetization of a free-to-play game. This is very fair. I would even go so far. It's even fairer than... Is that even a word? Fairer? Whatever. Now it is. Than Marvel Rivals. Because in Marvel Rivals, you cannot even sell the stuff you don't want. Right? You are stuck with the things you don't want, and nobody is complaining there. Here, they still give you the chance to just sell the things which are not even giving you an advantage. And again, Mashmac, it doesn't really matter that much. So yeah, I do disagree with the mixed reviews this game got for the monetization. Does it mean the game doesn't have other problems? It does, but that's a very different topic. So this is my explanation, my thought, my view, my opinion, whatever you want to call it, on the whole, why does the game have mixed reviews on Steam? And if you just want to play the game, then nothing stops you, because there is, as I said, zero advantage to be taken from the item shop. So that's that. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like. Also, if you're new to the channel, you want to see more Mecha Break videos, which we already have here on the channel, and more coming. There are also live streams, me climbing back to actually champion, so the top 250 players worldwide. Pretty close to that. I'm at master now, since I'm recording this video. We are getting up there. So yeah, if you want to join that, don't forget to subscribe to get informed when the next live stream or video is going live. And don't forget to click the bell icon. With that said, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Stay safe. Bye.